Good morning, second grade. We'll start with some phonogram review and get right into our words. All right, our first phonogram is ow, o, oo, What are you going to write? Good, ow, o, oo, Say it while you write it. All right, class, put your finger under that phonogram you just wrote. What does it say? Excellent. Ow, o, oo, Ow, o, oo, If you didn't have that one, write it 3 times. Say it while you write it. All right. The only other one that we should need to review for today is What are you going to write? Good. Say it while you write it. All right, class, put your finger under that phonogram. What is it? Good. This is our All right, these are the only ones that we should need for our words today. The other ones are E-double-E and the of her. And the students who are coming in, they know, I've seen that they know those already. So I hope that if you're at home, you know those too. All right, so now let's just practice a few more that won't be in our words, but I want to see if you know them. All right, the first one is, what are you going to write? Good. Say it while you write it. All right, class, put your finger under that phonogram you just wrote. What is it? Good. All right, this is our All right, if you didn't have that, write it 3 times. Say it while you write it. All right. The next one is the O of boat. What are you going to write? Good. The O of boat. Say it while you write it. All right, class, put your finger under that phonogram you just wrote. What is it? Good. The O of boat. All right, that's our the O of boat. So if you didn't have it, 3 times saying it while you write it. All right. Let's see, the last one we'll do sh, short letter sh. Oh, that's one of our newer ones. What are you going to write? Good. Sh, short letter sh. Say it while you write it. All right, class, what did you write? Good. Sh, short letter. Oh, and I forgot the end of that name. It's sh, short letter sh, used at the beginning of syllables after the first one. Oh my goodness. Sh, short letter sh, used at the beginning of syllables after the first one. All right, well, since I kind of messed that one up and I didn't say that rule that we want to associate with this one, let's all write it one more time and say the whole thing while we write it. Sh, short letter sh, used at the beginning of syllables after the first one. Sh, short letter sh, used at the beginning of syllables after the first one. That helps us know this is never at the beginning of a word. Any sh at the beginning of a word is usually almost always this. It could be this, saying its third sound, but it's almost always this. This is our default. All right, this and the other sh that we just learned, never at the beginning of a word. Okay. All right, stretch out our arms. Shake them out. All right, sitting up nice and straight. Our first word is around. Class, what's the word? Good, around. I took my dog for a walk around the park. Around. It's a two-way word. To spell it, we say around. How do we spell around to say it? Or how do we say around to spell it? Good, around. How many syllables are in around? Show me. Around. All right, I hope you've got this. There are two syllables. The first syllable is A. What's the first syllable? Good, A. It's an open syllable, so you know what to use. Say it while you write it, and put your syllable break at the end. All right, the next word is, or the next syllable is round. Oh, we learned that one already. Let's review it. What sounds do we hear in the word round? Good. Our sounds are r, ow, n, d. All right, one more time. I know it might have been hard to get these consonants apart. What are our sounds? Excellent. R, ow, n, d. We're going to use ow, o, oo, Which ow are we going to use? Good. Ow, o, oo, Write that second syllable. Say the sounds while you write it. All right, class, put your finger under that first phonogram in the word you just wrote. What does it say? Good. A. And what kind of syllable is it? Good. An open syllable. Let's say our rule. A, E, O, and U. Usually say A, E, O, U, or oo at the end of a syllable. All right, so we only talk about an open syllable if it's a single vowel, so that lets us know which A to use. All right, what's next? Good. And I hope you're working on saying r instead of saying right? Because our sound isn't it's r. Good. R. Good. Ow, and which ow is it? Excellent. Ow, o, oo, What's next? Good. N. Good. And d. And where we start d. Good. Over a space just below the dotted line, touch 2 on the clock. We're still getting, some of us are getting d and b mixed up a little bit. If you remember the starting spot, you won't. All right, make sure your word looks like this. And let's mark it. All right, so remember, we're going to keep our marker or pencil down. We'll go through all the markings, then we'll pick up our pencil and mark it. All right, does this need a marking? It's saying its name. All right, good. All right, get your pencil and let's mark it. All right, let's read our word. Good, it's A, R, N, D. Around. All right, this one is a two-way word, but since we see this so often, let's see, we had mentioned prefixes, right? A prefix is something that goes in front of a base word. So we have this as a prefix very often, but we say it So we're not going to put that thinking cap. We're just going to work on remembering that we see this in an open syllable by itself all the time in front of another word. So this is a prefix, but it says usually, maybe all the time. All right. All right, our next word is between. What's the word? Good, between. My books were between the bookends. Between. Put your hand on your chin. How many syllables are in between? I hope you're showing me this. Between. All right, the first syllable is B. What's the first syllable? Good, B. What sounds do you hear in the syllable B? Excellent. The sounds are B, E. All right, this is an open syllable. That lets you know what we're going to use for E. Write that first syllable, say the sounds while you write them. All right, the second syllable is tween. What's the second syllable? Good, tween. All right, what sounds do you hear in the syllable tween? All right, I know it might be hard to hear all those sounds and get them apart. The sounds are t, w, e, n. All right, one more time. All right, we're going to use double E in the second syllable. All right, go ahead and write that second syllable. Say the sounds while you write them. All right, put your finger under the first phonogram in the word we just wrote. What is it? Good, B. What's next? Good, E. And what kind of syllable is it? Excellent, it's an open syllable. Let's say our open syllable rule for our more consistent vowels. A, E, O, and U usually say A, E, O, U, or oo at the end of a syllable. All right, what's next? Good. Good, whoop. What's next? Good. E, which E? This one's E double E. Always says E. And our last sound, good. All right, make sure your word looks like this. We'll put our pencils down, we'll go through the markings, then we'll mark it. Does this need a marking? How about this? It's saying its name. Okay, good. How about this? All right, let's mark it. All right. Let's read our word. Good, the word is between, between. All right. Our next word is beside. What's the word? Good, beside. I put my marker beside the whiteboard, beside. How many syllables are in beside? Great work if you got this. Our first syllable is B. What's our first syllable? Good, B. What sounds do you hear in the syllable B? Good, B, E. It's an open syllable, so you know what to use for E. Say it while you write it. All right, the next word is the next syllable, which is also a word, is side. What's the next syllable? Good, side. Now this is a review word if you were here last year. What sounds, just tell me the sounds even if you know how to spell it. What sounds do you hear in the word and syllable side? Good, our sounds are S, I, D. All right, how are we gonna make our I-E say I? Excellent, silent final E, job 1. Write that syllable, say the sounds while you write them. All right, put your finger under that first phonogram. What does it say? Good, but. Good, E, and what kind of syllable is it? Good, an open syllable. Let's say our rule, pretty soon we'll have it memorized. A, E, O, and U usually say A, E, O, U, or oo at the end of a syllable. All right, what's next? Good. Excellent. D, I hope we're starting our D in the correct starting spot. And good. This says besid right now. We need to make it say beside with a silent final E, job 1. All right, make sure yours looks like mine. We'll put our pencils down to go through the markings. It's saying its name. Good, anytime our vowel says its name, we underline it. How about this? It's saying its name. This, it's part of our silent final E job. And of course, we always double underline any silent final E. All right, pick up your pencil and we'll mark it. All right, let's read our word. Good, beside. All right, the next word is behind. What's the next word? Good, I hid behind the chair. Behind. How many syllables in behind? I hope you've got this. All right, that first syllable is B. What sounds do we hear in the first syllable B? It's an open syllable. Go ahead and write it. Say the sounds while you write them. All right. Our second syllable is hind. What's the second syllable? Good, hind. What sounds do you hear in the syllable hind? Good, the sounds are I, n, d. I, n, d. All right. Our I is I, E. So before we start guessing, remember we know how to know for sure how this is saying its name. There's 3 ways. Let's see, our most common way is with a, what? Good, with a silent final E job 1, but we have 2 separate consonant sounds. Our silent final E can't go over 2 separate consonant sounds, so it can't be our first way. All right, what's the second way, the next most common way our single vowel can say its name? Excellent, an open syllable. Wait, an open syllable means our vowel's at the end of the syllable. Is our vowel at the end of a syllable? It sure isn't. It has to be our third way. Class, what's the third way our vowel can say its name? All right, if we're not sure, we've got to work on memorizing the third way our vowel can say its name, and that is I and O. May say I and O when followed by 2 consonants. So class, what's letting our I-E say I in hind? I and O may say I and O when followed by 2 consonants. All right, so one more time, what are we going to write for our last syllable hind? Excellent, write it and say it while you write it. All right, put your finger under the first phonogram in that word. What does it say? Good, B. Good, E, what kind of syllable is it? Good, an open syllable. Let's say the rule. A, E, O, and U usually say A, E, O, U, or oo at the end of a syllable. All right, great. What's next? Good. Good, I. Good, N. And good, D. All right. And class, what's letting our I-E say I in the second syllable? Say it with me. I and O may say I and O when followed by two consonants. All right, let's go through the markings, then we'll pick up our writing instrument and mark our word. It's saying its name. It's saying its name. All right, let's mark our word. All right, and now let's read it. Good, it's behind. I hope we're paying attention to the markings. That's why we do them, is so we know that this is saying its name. All right, nice job, class. We just have two more words. All right, the next word is thumb. What's the next word? Good, thumb. My thumb is what lets me hold the marker. Thumb. Thumb is a two-way word. To spell it, we say thumb. Say that with me. Thumb. Yep, it's just like lamb and lamb. We've got that extra sound at the end. One more time, say it with me. Thumb. Good. Now by yourselves. Excellent. Thumb. All right, what sounds do you hear in the word thumb? Good, it's b. Go ahead and write those sounds. Say them while you write them. All right, put your finger under the first phonogram in that word. What does it say? Good. Good. And good. B. All right, make sure yours looks like mine. And let's go through the markings. Does this need a marking? I hope you're showing me this because we need both those letters to say. It's saying its first sound. How about this? Do we hear this when we say thumb? I'll show me how we mark a silent letter. Good. All right, go ahead and mark it. All right, let's read our word, and we're actually going to say our silent letter too, so we remember how we say it to spell it. All right, nice job, class. Our last word for today is finger. What's the word? Good, finger. I got a cut on my finger yesterday. Finger, finger. To spell it, we say finger. So listen one more time. Finger. Say that with me. Finger. All right, now by yourselves. Good, finger. How many syllables in finger? Show me. Good, there are 2 syllables. All right, the first syllable is fin. What's the first syllable? Good, fin. What sounds do you hear in the syllable fin? Good, write it. Say it while you write it. Don't forget your syllable break. All right, our second syllable is gur. What's our second syllable? Good, gur. What sounds do you hear in the syllable gur? Good, it's g, We're going to use the of her. Which do we use in finger? Good, the of her, write it, and say it while you write it. All right, put your finger under the first phonogram in finger. What does it say? Good. Good. What's next? Good, good. Which is it? Good. The of her. All right. Make sure yours looks like mine. Let's go through the markings. All right, class, what kind of syllable is our first syllable? I hope you looked at it before you told me. It is a what? If you said closed syllable, pat yourself on the back. This is a closed syllable. Remember, a closed syllable just means it ends with a consonant. All right. Does this need a marking? How about this? Good. The one thing we need to mark is to underline our the of her. Except we said it was a two-way word. When we're speaking, we say finger. To spell it, we say finger. All right, let's try and figure out where our thinking cap goes. Let's see, finger. We're gonna put it on top of the n, because that kind of sounds like we have this phonogram. But to spell it, we say finger. All right. Nice job with this video, class. I'll see you in the next one.